Hello, everybody. My name is Mike Hurd.
And I'm Kathy Casey. Good to see you, Mike.
Good to see you, Kathy. Welcome, everybody. And something that's been on my mind lately, Kathy, I'd love to ask you. It's on my mind because I've had conversations with people where this subject has come up, and frankly, it's come up for me in the past as well. Here's my question. Can you share your thoughts on if I believe that I want to try something new, but I'm just hesitant to actually try it. What's what's behind that, and what could help me? Maybe, I mean, do you think that you could motivate me to try something new, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and
Wave
and
the
so
wand. I'm going to
wait, is
wave the
there a magic
wand.
wand? Yeah. So what are your thoughts on trying new things that we think we want to do, but we just haven't done it yet?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny. Just you teeing up the question right now. It kind of hit me. We tend to, in all of us, we tend to look at what's wrong with us, or we tend to look at what we don't have, or we tend to look at how scary things look. I mean, we have all these ideas about just being on the planet in general, you know? And I would ask any person on the street, how much of your day are you in this optimistic feeling of like really being 100% and having the capacity to do anything you wanted? Yeah, how many people walk around with that kind of state of mind? No, the state of mind we tend to walk around is, I don't like that, or, oh, I don't want to go there, or, oh, that looks like too much work, or, oh, if I try to do that, I'll look stupid. What if I forget to, what if I forget to say, say in front of a group, they say there's the top five worst fears people have, and public speaking is the first one.
Right, right.
That's it. And again, and they say things like, well, pretend everybody's naked in the audience. They have all these ideas about how to calm down in the face of looking at people. And let's use that as a metaphor. What is our worst fear about being in front of a group of people? I mean, so what's the list? I don't know what I'm talking about. They're not going to like me.
Going to look
They're going to get,
stupid.
I'm
Yeah.
going to look stupid. They're going to be bored. I'm going to, I'm going to, have a heart attack. I mean, it's amazing the thoughts that go through our mind just in that one particular situation. But I think in general, most people walk around and they're not looking at what they have or what's possible. We're mostly looking at what we don't have and what's not possible. And it's so subtle and it's just in there. It's just in there. And we're not even aware of it. But when we come up against something wow, I wish I could be like that person. In fact, when I used to hear people like Cesar Chavez or Gandhi or, all these profound people, Mandela, I used to look at them and go, I wish I had what they had. Wow, they're special. They're special. And other people in my life, mentors, wow, I wish I could be like them. How many of you, Michael, have you had that experience?
Oh yeah, of course.
Where I
Yeah.
wish I could be like them, or wow, they have something special and I didn't
Hmm.
get it.
Hmm.
I mean, we tend to see it that way.
Mm.
And I'll never forget when I started to realize that I have this limitless potential, this limitless connection to everything.
Mm.
I'm connected to that through this incredible kind of thinking. Wisdom, insight, in the zone, spiritual, whatever you want to call it, the universe. I mean, when you look up at the sky, I mean, what is holding all that up? At night, what's holding all that up? Well, what's holding all that up is what's holding me up. But we don't realize that. We go into this narrow, well, I'm not enough, or I don't have enough, or I don't know enough. It's like when you have like a telescope
Mm.
or binoculars. Have you ever picked up binoculars and you look through them the wrong way and everything looks really tiny and you go, oh, wait a minute, I have to turn them around. And then pretty soon you have a wider vantage point and things look clear and closer.
Mm.
Well, that's how our mind works. See, our minds are have an amazing bandwidth that we don't even appreciate. And the reason why we don't appreciate is we don't know that it exists within us. But we experience it every now and then. So that's the other thing. So somebody wants to do something new, but if you look back in your life, how many times have you done something new? So you had to start from square one and went on a learning curve to learn something. You were able to do it, but we forget that. We forget, oh, wow, I've been doing this since I was a kid. When I learned how to ride a bike, or I learned how to, jump rope, or or in school, I learned how to do the alphabet. I learned how to write it. See, we don't realize we're always doing new things. But for some reason, there's a certain thing that we put up kind of up here, and all of a sudden I can't do it. Well, I think over time we live in the we don't live in the possibility anymore. We live in the impossibility, for lack of a better word. Because when you
Mm.
see kids, they're fearless. You say, Johnny,
Right.
go out and play soccer. And he doesn't say, oh, I don't know how to play soccer. He just runs out there and he starts kicking the ball around and having a good time. He doesn't know what the rules are, but I'm just going to go play soccer.
Mm.
But as he gets older and somebody says, well, hey, go out there and play tennis. Well, I've never played tennis before, so no, I can't go out there. No, 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 no way. As opposed to, well, just go out there and just swing, swing the tennis racket, just swing the racket and hit the ball. I mean, people go into all this insecure thinking, but as children, we don't have that. Well, what has changed is over time, we're looking in the wrong direction. I can't, I won't, I don't know how. I'm afraid. I'll look like I'm an idiot. I mean, and very successful people have this. I had worked with a group of women who were highly successful. And one day I said to them, what is your worst fear in life? And one of the women, she said, well, my worst fear is I'll make a big mistake. I'll get fired from my job and I won't have any money and my family will disown me and I'll end up becoming homeless and living under a bridge. I mean, and it's funny because I asked the whole group of women, how many of you kind of think that way? Like your worst fear? And they all raised their hand.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like I'll lose everything and I'll be left homeless living under the bridge. Or in some cases, some people feel like, well, they will no longer cease to exist.
Mm.
So we're all walking around with our worst fear thinking without realizing how deep that can go. So for people who have this fear about trying something new, or I could never be like that person. Now,
Mm.
again, the people I used to admire and I thought they were special and I thought I want what they have. Well, guess what I found out? I do have what they have. The only difference between me and them at the time was I have what I have. I have what they have. I just didn't know it. They knew it. See, they knew what was inside. They knew that. And then what did they say to all of us? Go forward, but look inside for all your answers. Your strength is from within. How many times have you heard from somebody in your life, you can do anything if you set your mind to it? Well, that's a very profound statement because any place or anywhere your mind goes, that will become real. So if you have this thought, well, I want to go grocery shopping, next thing you know, you're going grocery shopping.
Mm.
Oh, I want to learn how to ski, downhill skiing. And if you just keep going with that, one day you'll find yourself learning how to downhill ski. But the difference between going to the grocery store, well, I want to go to the grocery store. So you have the thought, I'm going to go to the grocery store. And then you don't have the next thought, well, I don't know how, or I'm afraid to go see, you don't go there with the grocery store.
Mhm.
But learning how to ski, oh, that looks hard. It's too cold. See, then you have all this extra thought getting in the way of going forward with skiing. So you're
Mhm.
more apt to not do it because of all the extra thoughts. But going to the grocery store and going skiing, no difference. It's just the meaning you give it in your mind about what it means for you to go forward and do it. So have you ever done something, Michael, where you were still nervous, you were still scared, but you went ahead and did it anyway?
Yes.
So what was
Yes.
that like? So what happened when you did that?
Well, what comes to mind because we're here today is creating this video series with you and putting this out there in the world.
Yeah, yeah,
And um, yeah, I mean, I had a lot of thinking about that. Are we doing it the right way? And what, you know,
yeah,
how should we structure it? And what we ended up doing is just
yeah,
doing it and putting out
yeah,
there.
yeah, 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 yeah,
And we're getting very positive feedback about it,
yeah, yeah,
and people are liking it,
yeah, yeah,
and so yeah, so this is an example, real life example that we're living.
yeah. And it was so easy, matter of fact, because you mentioned it to me. You came up with the idea. I said, yeah, that sounds great. How would we do it? Well, I'm not sure yet, but we'll figure it out. And we
Right,
decide, well, we'll just figure it out as we go along.
right,
I mean, we had nothing on it like this was a
mm,
big deal or
right, right,
this, I mean, yeah, you have to be concerned with logistics and scheduling and things like that, but
mm,
life is so simplistic. We make it complex
mm,
with the amount of thinking we add onto everything.
mm,
And to me, the more at stake something is out here, and that would mean, I always use this example, a brain surgeon. So I need to have brain surgery, and so I go to a brain surgeon. Now, he has to learn about how to do that. Absolutely. Go to medical school and learn all the stuff and then specialize. But when it comes down to the day and the moment he's actually doing surgery on my brain, I don't want him having a whole lot of thinking. I want him to just be in the moment and respond to anything that's required as he's doing it. I don't want him thinking, oh, I hope nothing goes wrong, or
mm,
wow, maybe this one's beyond my capability, or what if I make a mistake? I don't want him having those doubts.
mm,
I want him to feel confident with, well, I've done all the prep I can do, and I'm going to do the best I can. And while they're doing surgery on me, and I actually felt that I recently had hip surgery, and the thing I asked my surgeon, when I did the interview with him, is how many of these have you done? And he basically more than I can remember. Like he's done this a lot. And for some reason, there was just something about him. He was very matter of fact, he answered all my questions about risks and this and that, but there was something about his confidence. So when I went into, I was not nervous at all. I felt totally confident.
mm,
And so again, we all have that. We're born with that. We're born, and the only thing that gets in the way with it is, well, what if, or I don't know how, or what if I make it, all of that.
mhm,
So for all of us, if you're thinking about doing something that in your mind you think, oh, there's no way, well, start looking at the idea there is a way and start looking inside and remember all the times that you have done things, you have done new things. So use your own experience. I'm not here to convince you. I'm
mm.
just pointing you to something that you've experienced already, and you just need to keep rediscovering that over and over again.
Yeah, I
So
love
I
that.
say go for
Mm. Thank you, Kathy. And,
And
and that is just such profound
yeah,
wisdom to point to experience something we've already experienced,
yeah,
where
yeah,
we've seen it in our own
yeah,
lives,
yeah, yeah.
and we have those stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Could I just add one last thing?
yeah, of course.
So say you go forward and you try something new and it doesn't work out.
Mm,
It just doesn't work out or it becomes a disaster.
mhm,
Well, here's the difference. I watched this interview show one day where the interviewer asked these four corporate CEOs of these huge companies, very successful men. And so he asked them, what do you look for when you hire somebody? And they all said in one way or another, well, we want to see what they've accomplished, of course,
mhm,
but we want to hear about when things didn't go well.
Mm,
And the interview said, well, why would you want to know that? Well, we want to see what they do after. So for me, I learned from a dear mentor, when I blow it, when I make a big mistake,
mm,
and sometimes a stupid mistake, I went into, oh, I'm such an idiot. I'm not qualified to do this. I can't believe it was about me being a failure. I took it personally. And my mentor pretty much said, do you think I was born knowing how to do what I do? Do you think the reason why I'm successful is because I was born and I knew instantly how this goes? He said, no, I have made many mistakes, but here's the deal. I don't make meaning about it. I don't make
mm,
meaning about me, the person. And so after got to discuss that with my mentor, he even said to me what he loved about me is that I would usually get in over my head. And sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. But here's the thing. He said, hey, you just want to see what you missed,
mm.
not take it to heart that you're an idiot or you're a failure. Now, you may
Right.
have that for a moment, but ultimately, so the CEO is saying, he wants to see people dust themselves off, kind of look around and go, okay, what did I miss here? Or maybe that's not for me. And then they move forward.
Mhm.
Next. And that's how I've been since I had that experience of totally blowing it, leaving a lot of money on the table. Believe me, it had financial implication. But from that one time, I became fearless. Now, not that I look to make mistakes, but when I do, I know, okay, what happened here?
Mm.
I don't take it to heart that I'm the failure. It's just that somehow I missed something, and that's all that happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great place to finish. Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you, Michael.
All
See you
right.
next
See you
time.
next time.